everyone, and welcome to Chosen. Today we have three leaders, Yaonan, Yu, and Paul, as our guests to share the challenges they faced in their leadership process and how they solved them. Do you think there are natural leaders, and what kind of people are suitable to be leaders?
Actually, everyone can be a leader as long as people follow you, then you are a leader. The most important thing for me is the need to be attractive to others. Doesn't matter if you are inside or outside the organizational structure. To employees, if my attraction to them is still there, the kind of leadership is the one that should not be limited by organizational framework. People with strong relationships and social capital are good candidates for leadership because success requires the help and support of others. Of course, as a leader in every period for power and desires naturally inflicted, how to control their ambitions and the clear directions of future development is also crucial. A good leader needs to constantly remind himself not to be blinded by power and money. I think there is no natural leader. Good leaders need to have a growth mindset and constantly improve their work ability and social skill.
For you, what do you think is the essential job of a leader in your career?
The pace of modern business work fast and the speed of change in the external environment is fast. As a leader, I need to have some foresight and to make the right decision quickly to avoid losing market share in changing economic environment. Simply speaking, in order to lead the team to achieve high goal together, earning benefit for the team and the company, I must always monitor the progress of the work in the team, lead by example, and maintain high work efficiency. At this time, the key concept is how to improve team members' workability and keep employees' enthusiasm. If my subordinates have excellent performance, I will be generous to praise them so they will grow their work. Motivation will be driven. The most important thing is to make the best possible use of your existing people, stimulate their potential and let them bring benefits to the team. At the same time, I should let my subordinates feel my respect and trust to them.
Leaders are often challenged. How do you usually solve problems with employees?
There is a problem after being a leader for a long time. People get used to feeling that they are always right and refuse to listen to different voice. Firstly, in the face of doubt and questions, I do not use the identify and status of a leader to force and urge employees to achieve goals by giving orders. Of course, conflicts and contradiction are inevitable in the team, and I do not recommend directly judging right and wrong when dealing with conflicts and contradiction among employees. It is necessary to define the level and cause of conflicts first. I will eliminate the conflicts in question rather than letting go and allowing it will be magnified. As a leader, it is important to know how to build team trust relationship through delegation, and I have to take initiative to delegate authority and trust my employees. Have you ever faced an ethical dilemma in your leadership process?
Well, as a team leader, I have faced ethical dilemmas that made it difficult for me. One of the most impressive times for me was when I was team leader of a project, but I encountered a major problem. I was faced with the dilemma of whether to choose to hide or downplay the problem. If I had chosen the solution, might have escaped the wrath of my boss, but could the consequences really have been bearable? If my member found out what I did and then had problems in their future personal work, would they follow my example? Would this lead to organizational chaos and inefficiency?
How did you finally make your choice, and what did you do to overcome the ethical
I
dilemma?
think as a leader is to constantly face the challenge, admit my mistake and solve the problem as soon as possible, instead of running away. In fact, it takes courage to take responsibility for this matter, since human instinct always choose to escape it. But as a team leader, I'm responsible for the whole team, whether it's my mistake or my team member mistake. I want to face ethical dilemma with a growth mindset. It's not about seeking improvement in order to solve a problem, or achieve an immediate goal, but rather a voluntary, sustained pursuit of how to improve oneself. It's by holding myself to an ethical standard that I can become a competent leader and lead ethically in a team to pursue long-term goals.
What did you learn about doing so effectively?
Ethical standards have actually taught me many things. One is to establish realistic ethical standards and make sure I can adhere to them so that I can have a good ethical leadership and set an example for others in the organization in order to practice transformational leadership. Also, I find that treating every employee fairly reduces job hopping because respect and fairness are the best ways to get employee support. In addition, if clients feel good ethical value when they work with me, it will motivate them to continue doing business with our company, which will help improve our reputation and competitiveness, and even bring us potential clients. What is possible challenge you ever face managing diversity as a leader?
Yes, thank you. There are many challenges managing diversities at workplace. This makes me to reflect back on what happened in 2015 among two of our employees. One have to be Malaysian, and one have to be Filipino. And the Malay one is a female, and the Filipino one is a male. And both of them met in a function, and the only available seat was beside the female colleague. And as immediately he's sitting down, the female community was coughing her nose. And the male employee felt bad about these situations, and he was so angry about it, and he reported this back to us at work.
Is there any particular step taken by you to resolve the issue?
What are the challenges we face tackling these kinds of issues? One, we first of all discovered that one is the acceptable norms in the Malay culture for female to cover her nose in a public place, and unaware to the Filipino employee, and we try to take some steps, and which is number one, we interview both parties in order to have a clear view of what really happened among them. And secondly, upon interview, we critically evaluated the information we have at hand in order to come to conclusion. Our findings now was that there was a cultural friction among these two parties. These cultural frictions have to be that the Filipinos are unaware that it's acceptable norms in Malay culture for female to cover her nose. Why he was very, very angry about it.
Please tell me what you learned by managing the situation effectively.
What are the lessons learned in this episode is, one, individuals should have this effective communication in order to have a clear pictures of happening around you. Because having been the main employees have tried to ask further question, the reason why his colleagues was covering our nose, maybe he would have gotten a good response to that without causing rancor. Secondly, is individual managers, employees should try to understand acceptable norms among other employees in order to avoid the issue that might arise unnecessarily.